Boony, boony, boom. Hey, Boone, I didn't tell you this beforehand, but this is going live on YouTube. That's right. Grandma Ma'll probably see it. Maybe Bella will too, huh? But we're waiting on people to come in, Boone. Ah, it looks like Moon Pie is first, Booney. Have you ever met Moon Pie? He used to watch you when you was in season one. Yeah, we're gonna have to get you back on the road, Booney. All right, we got people chiming in. The semi truck driver and Blair Pilgrim. Mark Spencer has joined us. And the other Earl. We got Paper Chaser and Justin Graves. What's going on, Justin? How's the weather near Stone Mountain? I tell you, it is a gorgeous day here in Simpsonville. Let's look out the window, Booney. Yeah. Lovely, lovely day. Don't see a cloud in the sky. But I've got news. Let's pop this camera back around. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Trucker Jim channel. I'm coming to you today from my studio, but I'm going to be hitting the road tomorrow. But really, the only reason I'm doing this is it takes so freaking long to upload a daggum YouTube video. But boy, is this a good one. I'm going to go ahead and tell, and it's not going to be on this channel, okay? That's why I wanted to get it out. It's going to be on the GNP Trucking channel, but heck, for us all over with, parts of it may be on the news. And I imagine reefs across America. I don't know. We'll see. You guys let me know what you think about it when you see it. But spin around, camera. I am uploading it now, and I guess YouTube has like a couple of different looks. The classic, and then there was a beta, and this looks more like the beta. It doesn't give me a percentage, but this is the status window. But this dadgum thing, y'all, this is what the thumbnail is going to look like. Wheels turn for reefs across America. Yeah, and this will probably be the last one for G&P Trucking because I think we're getting ready to be G&P Transport, part of NFI. I don't have the whole scoop. It isn't official until I believe the 22nd of this month, but I'm sure we will discuss all of that more thoroughly as time goes on and I know more. Been busy on other things so far, and mainly this Reefs Across America. But I can't wait for you guys to see it. It starts up in Maine at the tree farms and follows part of the process anyway of how the reefs actually make it to the grave sites and all the efforts of the volunteers that make that happen. It may be my best video yet. But we're still waiting. But I even did acted like a professional on this. For you guys that don't know, when you have a YouTube video, you'll hear people say, whatever is down in the description. Well, you got your title line, which that's what the title of it's going to be. And I even threw a hashtag because, well, I've heard other smart people say do that. I normally don't, but I did it for this one. And this is the description. Now, this looks all weird right here. Let's see, where's my finger at? Yeah, this looks all weird right here, right now. But once it's done uploading and published, this will actually be a link. And, for most of you probably already know if you're watching this on YouTube, but a link is kind of highlighted. It's like blue or something like that. And you'll click on it either with your finger or your mouse, just whatever device that you're on, and it'll take you like directly either to a website, or what most of these are actually going to do is take you directly to a YouTube video, and just in a matter of processing seconds, depending upon your speed, it'll start playing. It's a pretty cool thing. But we're still processing. Uh-oh. This looks like a festive car outside. Oh, it's a Lyft driver. I've heard Lyft is a little cheaper than Uber. If somebody has an opinion on that, let us know in the comments. I've got a couple of buddies, and I've seen guys on YouTube that used to be truck drivers that's doing a little Ubering, as I call it. I don't know if that's considered racist or anything, or not racist, but derogatory or anything, slang. Uh, but I think that that would be a fair descriptive word. But I guess I'm in the politically correct mindset of this video that I've been working on. Let's see if that'll sit up straight. I got to be careful. It's actually uploading from a hard drive, and I don't know if it loses connection, this thing will fail like the first attempt. Luckily, it was only a couple of minutes into it. All right. You want to say hey, Boone? Yeah. Boone, you my buddy. You are. But we're going to check some comments, Boone. And I'm just going to check them on the phone. I got my glasses on. I don't know if you guys, notice the difference. I love them because I can see with them. I can read again. And that is a good thing. But we got Jim Dunn saying howdy from Crashville. I mean, Nashville. I bet there are many crashes every day in Nashville. But I do have some good news for all truckers and four wheelers and everybody in general that travels through Greenville, South Carolina. Guys, I think they're done. That road construction where 385 and 85 run together that's been going on longer than any of us can remember. I mean, there's still some equipment out there. You'll see a few orange barrels and stuff that hadn't been taken off yet, but it seems to be open in all directions and traffic does not back up. It just moves through there and it's awesome. Oh, it's so awesome. Well, so God, it's just been absolutely horrible. It's been like a mini Atlanta or Nashville in that spot. But that is good news. Everybody give a thumbs up if you have experienced slow moving traffic around 85 and 385 in Greenville, South Carolina. Where did I leave off? Danny Coleman says, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida right now, headed towards career. All right. David says, hello, Jim from Myrtle Beach. Danny is headed to Greer. Okay. He's headed to Greer, not his career. It is his career to head to Greer. And we appreciate your service. Hello to you too, Dysfunctional Life. We got Run In 614 from Detroit, Michigan. I bet there's snow on the ground. Thank you, YP Poe. Homewrecker says the 28th. Is that when the deal is going through the 28th instead of the 22nd? Hello to you too, Antoine. We got the blue Volvo Mafia, the red Volvo gang, the Turtle Race for Moon Pie. Mike Johnson says Lyft is cheaper. Anybody else agree with that? Any thoughts on college football playoffs? Well, I saw where Joe Burrow from LSU got the Heisman, and wow, what a great! I don't really want to call the guy a kid because he's a freaking stud. The season that he had, but his Heisman speech was it was a good one. It was a good one. If you hadn't had a chance, there probably won't be a link in the description for Joe Burrow's Heisman speech, but it won't be too hard to find. But those playoff games, they should be great. But to be honest with you, I haven't got emotionally attached because I became emotionally detached from college football because I don't have time to keep up with all the games that's going on because I ain't getting paid to talk about college football. Um, However, I do have a passionate connection to Gamecock football, which has been a struggle this season. Oh my goodness. But I've seen potential in every game, and it's not like we just got our ass handed to us in every game. Well, until the fourth quarter came around, then it usually did because it seemed we were predictable and defenses. I don't know, like they were wired into our headsets or something, and then they just stopped everything that we did. But good news is, got Mike Bopo as the new offensive coordinator. He's had a very good track record of being able to adapt. I think he's going to be running more of a two-back set, some under center, using tight ends a lot, which is an offense that you have to really prepare for. Which the one we had before was not really, because a whole bunch of other teams were doing it too. The RPO thing, Tennessee was doing it, Florida was doing it. So as teams preparing, they've already kind of prepared for the same thing. So I believe our offensive strategy going forward is have a unique system and offense and have the right guys in place. So that's all I can say about that, guys. And we'll have the spring coming in a little bit, and then the first game will be the end of August or September. But the first couple of games this year are, not, they're easier games. Coastal Carolina is one of them, maybe East Carolina. I'm not looking at the schedule now. So that is much favorable than this motherfucker of a schedule that we just came out of with like 4 wins. I mean, it can't get a whole lot, tougher and worse than last year. I don't believe. So, it's up from there, but starting the season with a couple of easier games to get confidence and momentum going, and then, get into a gauntlet of a season. Man, that's pretty favorable. All right, let's go back to the comments. Let's see. We got Bortles talking junk on here. Todd Bluebird to Riverwalk in San Antonio. I'm not sure what all about this Bluebird you got us talking about. That like a new rideshare thing? Watching any new TV shows on Netflix or Hulu? I haven't. Um, I did watch that Irishman on Netflix, and guys, it's really, really good. If you like Martin Scorsese, you can tell it's him. That's movies like Goodfellas, Casino, Raging Bull, Taxi Driver. All are really good movies. Now, people who have like very minimal attention spans may not like these as well. There's not as many like explosions and things, but there's some brutal fucking shots in the head. But there's a lot of character development in it, and it's a lot of there's a definite not ailment, but trucking is a part of it because this is talking about the unions and Jimmy Hoffa back in those days and the trucking unions and all that. So it's a really cool movie. It's kind of long. You might have to break it up in a couple of chunks to digest the whole thing. It's about 3 hours, but it's called The Irishman. It's Robert De Niro. It goes through, I don't know, about 40 years, something like that altogether. He actually makes it out alive. I ain't going to spoil it, but like, and you say that because he's an old man at the beginning of it. It's kind of one of those reflecting backs. But as far as series, what a show that I like, it is one of the funniest shows on TV is Blackish. I can't tell you the names of any of the characters. One of the dad of it, he's been in a bunch of stuff that I've seen before as a good actor. But it's kind of a well off African American family. She's like a freaking doctor or something like that. And he's I don't know, he's something in advertising and they got a few kids and it's just a funny show. I think it's on ABC. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with it, but I like watching that. And then on Disney Plus, man, The Mandalorian, I think there's been 6 episodes so far. It's a Star Wars story type of thing. I really like it. It's 2 more episodes to go, which episode 9, the final movie in the Star Wars saga, the end of the sequel trilogy, which I've gone on record. The last one, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all, and I ain't even gonna go into like the 6 or 7 reasons that I didn't. But hopefully it'll end strong. I mean, it is freaking Star Wars, and it is Disney, and different people have their different opinions about Disney. But Disney has made plenty of crap movies. That is for sure. Anybody remember Escape to Witch Mountain? The like two aliens. One was a girl with a special purse, and one was a boy with a harmonica who had like I don't know. They could make stuff move around and things. The first one I loved as a kid, and I rewatched it recently with Disney Plus. But the second one, Return to Witch Mountain, man, on 2 different attempts, I think I might have made it about 20 minutes. And I was like, I can't take this anymore. And I just had to freaking turn it off because maybe it got better as it went on, but the acting was, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. I've been with GMP for 2 years now. I'm glad I'm still here. Well, good, semi truck driver. I'm right at the 3 year mark myself, and I don't know if I'll be saying I'm at the 4 year mark this time next year or not. Uh, I'm going through that evaluation time period. I mean, everything's, cool with GMP. They just, asked me to make this video. You go, oh, let's check on it. And that is, man, that they'll, still not ready yet, but they'll forever have a spot in my heart for just allowing me the opportunity to, focus on some, valuable content that, going to be critiqued and got to be, approved and can't be too crazy. And I want to keep going with that, guys. And I've been thinking I can get somebody to hire me to do this kind of stuff. I can. Well, I have. But maybe even the news. There were some news people. I ran into two different, well, I guess really 3 different news people over the course of everything that made this video. And one of them was a camera guy. And man, I was like, man, what kind of camera is this? And he told me it was much bigger than anything I've ever worked with. And I said, what'd you have to do to become a cameraman at the news station? Said, well, I started out as an editor, and then opportunity came up and they asked me. I like start out as an editor. Hmm, that's one of my favorite things to do. But see, I have to do the camera and the talking and all that to get to the point where I got the footage and I got something I can work with. But man, I can't wait for you guys to see. It's called Wheels Turn for Reefs Across America. For you guys that are just tuning in, I'm in the process of uploading. I don't know why this thing is 7 gigs. It's only 13 minutes long, but it's highly edited. I got it stacked and layered, and there's music throughout it, and voiceover, and footage that other people sent me and screen recordings from YouTube videos. I mean, it actually, you guys want to, while we're here, actually, let me spin it around. This is what it looks like. This is called Final Cut Pro. And right here, well, that's the whole project there. These are sound recordings right here, that blue stuff. Green, that's actually music. But then I've got, this was from a YouTube video. This was from a YouTube video of the whole procession. This thing was like 3 minutes long. I didn't put 3 minutes of that in my video, but all of these kind of things. And this stuff is like graphics, that you can drop over stuff. And then we get into footage from my big camera. There's footage from the iPhone on here, all that. But anyway, what you do, you drop it on your timeline, and I don't know if y'all can hear the sound of that or not. I can't. I've got headphones on, so I can't hear anything. Um, but when you get, any kind of title or anything like that is what this stuff is. And these little things right here, that's the different types of transition. Like on this one, for instance, Watch. See how that faded in? And I changed the opacity so you can kind of see through it. Then it fades out. Versus if it was just there, boom, like instantly, and then boom, it's gone. Yeah, it's a little too abrupt. It don't have flow. It's not as good. But for you people starting out, I tell you, ain't a thing in the world wrong with just using your cell phone. For real. That's how I started. You don't have to go get a Sony A7 III to, before you can do a video clip. You can practice learning, to move the camera angle and be in front of the camera and start, the editing process totally on your phone. And iMovie for you Apple people, for Android people, I don't know. I don't use an Android. Uh, but, video editor, I think, is one of them on there, but I'm not sure. But that can always be a start. And I've been kind of stirring over a video to make about why you should start a YouTube channel, with kind of the idea of a somewhat of a video diary. Because I'm pretty sure 20, 25 years from now, if YouTube is still a thing, which I back up all my stuff now, not the early stuff, it'd be pretty cool to go back and watch. Now it's hard for me to go back and watch stuff and like, God, I see all these things I would have done different. The camera's all shaky and the sound sucks, and all of this. I'm kind of more focused on evolving and creating, getting better instead of sitting around and watching old stuff that's already done. You know what I mean? Let's see. We got any new comments? Hey Jim, are you still trucking? And if you are, what's going on with the company GMP? It's been taken over by NRI. It's actually NFI, but we'll see how it goes. But it seems how it's more of a coincision than taking over, because I think we're just gonna, kind of keep running things, but they don't have really nothing and before going on in the southeast, and they didn't have nothing going on in Charleston, which where we have a terminal. But what they do have a lot of stuff going on is all the other ports up and down the eastern seaboard, stuff coming from China and overseas are big into that. And they've got thousands of trucks and drivers. It's on the low thousands. It's somewhere in the two to four. I hadn't done my research. Yeah, majority of them I think are day cabs, so it's a lot of dedicated, accounts. And what for truck drivers, what that dedicated lanes and things, what that means is predictable things you can count on. That's more of a you can do it in a day, sort of thing. So it's predictable home time, which generally means home every day, kind of home time. Hopefully, it pays well. I have seen some information, online about like lawsuit concerning owner operator status, like they treat the owner operators like an employee, which it's, it's kind of trucking. It is today. But hey, I ain't an owner operator, so you don't come to this channel for the lowdown on that stuff. But I'm whoever had left that comment. I'm going into it with positive expectations. I think it's going to be better for the drivers. And at the end of the day, that's what our president, our vice presidents, and all the support staff, that's their number one priority. That if the drivers are happy, the drivers are taken care of, well, then the drivers are going to go do a good job, and our customers are going to be happy, and the paychecks are going to clear on Friday. You know what I mean? And everybody wins. They don't have Mile GP. I don't know what that means. I always told you that you were a YouTuber who happens to drive trucks, and I would happen to agree. I like truck driving. I do. It is. And I wouldn't trade my time. Heck, I'm headed out in the morning. I'm still a truck driver. But I don't know. There's other things I want to do, and trucking kind of gets in the way of it. But I will reserve the right to change my damn mind at any point in time. And hey, 2 years from now, I may decide I want to buy a truck or two or three trucks. But right now, that's not my thinking. I used to work for NFI, hauling dedicated for Trader Joe's. Does GMP still haul in and out of Eastman Chemical in Kingsport? I don't know. That's not ringing a bell to me. Hey Jim, still losing weight, down 105. Gerald, you done lost 105 pounds? Man, that is awesome. Tell us how you feel, man. Woo! Are you where you want to be? Man, 105 pounds, that's like a person. Since April doing keto and Planet Fitness 3 times a week. Met you at the pilot in Knoxville a couple months ago. Okay, well, right on. I, you know, I don't have a Planet Fitness membership anymore because I had a little bank account change, and the Planet Fitness was hooked to that, and I hadn't re-upped it because I started going to 9 rounds, and I want to get a workout in before I hit the road. But I'm like, man, am I really ready for 9 rounds? But I was telling my roommate she's got a Planet Fitness. Maybe she can take me in there. I just won't be able to tan is the only thing. But that's cool. I wasn't trying to tan today anyway. But that is one difference between the gold membership for $22 and the $10 membership. But this video is not sponsored by Planet Fitness, so we're gonna move on along. I want to cry. I'm stuck in Cali. That kind of happens when you go to Cali. I remember get a load like, hell yeah, I'm going to Cali. Going back to Cali. Cali. You know, and it'd be, you know, 2,500, 2,700 miles, something like that, depending upon where you're coming from. And then you'll get out there and do a 34-hour reset and maybe more. That was the thing about it. Getting out of Cali is the problem. Get a FedEx load, and then you can check in. You ain't got to check FedEx load. That one canceled. But you did start your clock. Uh, Final question. Did the merger acquisition include Southeastern LTL division? No, it did not. The Castle family, which has always owned Southeastern, well, I don't know about always, but for a long time has owned Southeastern freight lines. And then back in the 80s, bought G&P Trucking, which stands for Gertrude and Panola, if that's ever on Jeopardy, or I doubt that would be a question on Jeopardy. But that was the daughters of the guy who started G&P Trucking back in 1936 in Greenwood, South Carolina, which was hauling, I don't know if it was cotton or whatever, but the Greenwood mills. There was a Gertrude plant and the Panola plant in Greenwood, and it was a small amount of trucks. We've got pictures at Greer moving them back and forth. And well, they bought us in the 80s, and from what I've gathered, just from talking to Clifton, is like, well, their dad, the guy who started Southeastern, from my understanding, he wanted to do it, but maybe he was kind of older in life, and everybody else was like, "Why, Dad? Why are you trying to get another trucking company or whatever?" GNP has always had such a good reputation, and really still does to this day. And I really hope that good reputation with our customers and the community continues even through the merger. But they were like, "Hey, you run it, all right? Just don't do anything that'll embarrass us." And then they were kind of out of it, and as time went on, it seemed as if that not it was that it was a bad attitude towards it, but it seemed like almost an indifferent attitude towards, you know, we don't want anything to be bad. Of course, we want to take care of people, do this, set up, whatever profit margin and things like that. But as far as our growth as a company, taking on, large amounts of debt to grow is something they didn't want to do. So they gave us away a gift. Think about if you're at a family that's like that, like, all right, we got a trucking company, makes millions of dollars a year. We're going to give it to you. Merry Christmas. to once again, I wasn't planning on talking about this, so I didn't research, but it was a Christian organization. And then, well, the Christian organization decided, there's a lot of liability that could potentially come along with a trucking company. If you go anywhere down the interstates, the big billboards that you see up, there's lawyers saying, I don't know, advertisements about let's sue some trucking companies, people. Come on. Um, so that they told Clifton to find a buyer. And I haven't got Clifton's personal story. I hope I do, because I love listening to his narrative on things. But obviously, he found NFI, and with both of us having a relationship with Lowe's, their absence in the southeast in Charleston, they've got things going on in California. They don't really do any kind of border stuff with Mexico, which we've got our Texas fleet. Um, they started doing. Apparently NFI has a LinkedIn channel. Greg was telling me about today. I haven't been messing with LinkedIn since I got out of the insurance business, and it was based on my New York Life email, and I'm like, I don't know how to get logged into this thing. I've tried a few times, so I guess maybe I'll just start a Trucker Jim LinkedIn thing, and I will check NFI. But apparently they're putting short video content up each and every day. NFI doing some daily vlogging. I can't speak for it yet. I hadn't checked anything out, but anybody that takes on the bold task of daily, content of some degree. I don't know how edited it is, and what the message is, but I hope I get to meet them. Oh, let's check on the video, which we use Google Chrome. Still, just a little bit more. I'll show you Boom. Maybe that'll be interesting. Boone, do you have anything you would like to share with the YouTube audience? Yep. You a good boy, Booney. You are. You are. You're such a good boy. All right. Well, I'm sure this is kind of dying down. I don't have a real strong ending. I was wanting my strong ending to be the video, is finished uploading, and all I got to do is do the end screen. That's really it. I've got everything else done. I'm not going to have cards in it. And then for you guys that are subscribers to the G&P channel, if you've got notifications set up, you will get alert when wheels turn for reefs across America. I will like it on this channel. So if you go to playlist and go to like videos, well, you'll see the video then. If it's any time later than pretty much right now, because it's not there yet. And I'll put it on my Facebook and any kind of trucking groups that I'm a part of. I'll share it on that. But this is all about the cause of reefs across America, which I think it touches a, a lot of Americans, because you don't have to go too far in a family to find a veteran. And the cornerstones of Reef Across America is remember, honor, and teach. And it's remember those who have sacrificed for our country. And what Reefs Across America is all about is honoring them. And it goes in good detail of the video on this, and teach our children and young people of the value of freedom. Um, it's still uploading. It's not done, but I'm going to go ahead and get off here, guys. But I hope all of you watch it. If you like it, please feel free to interact. There's some more information about it, and that'll be in the description of that video. But I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, waiting on this slow 7 gig, 13-minute video. I don't know why it's so heavy. Maybe I was filmed in. I don't film in 4K though. But if you would like to contribute to the cause, there is a PayPal account hooked to this. And let's see, this is the Trucker Jim channel. And I have put a link. I don't have a website anymore to keep on trucking.life. It just kind of another bank account thing when I switched. But I do have a link for anyone that's interested in getting Trucker Jim gear. You're probably not going to get it for Christmas because this place Gallery. I mean, the shirts or hats or whatever, they're good quality. They are. They're a little pricier than I would like it to be, especially with the shipping and handling. But you can get official Trucker Gym gear. There's a few different designs, but that's in the link below. But the main purpose of this video, I wanted to let you guys know on the smaller channel that you won't get a notification on. There's a video going up here in a bit called "Wheels Turn for Reefs Across America." Any of you truckers are gonna love it. Any of you veterans, I hope it I don't know, I'm at a loss for words, but I really put a really put myself into this one over the last few days. So I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, and that was not a good ending. I'm sorry I rambled on. Should have thought it out and wrote it down. But I'm still working on being a professional at this stuff, guys. But until next time, be safe out there and keep on trucking.